welcome everybody to the Hospital Podcast. Episode with a big number. And from the forthcoming album, Hospital House Party, which comes out on the 31st, this is Willem. And you may recognise the vocal. Check it out. This. And the Hospital House Party album comes in CD and download. The CD is mixed by the fair New Tone. Massive shout to everybody who tuned in to Mustard Mix episode 2, which I broadcast at 8 o'clock on Mondays that are alternating with the podcast. And you can only watch it on my personal YouTube channel, so you need to subscribe. And it is me really getting into the mix, no talking. It was 90 minutes this week. I think the next one's probably going to be 2 hours. So if you like my music but you hate my chat, you will love the Mustard Mix. I'm also putting up loads and loads of production tips as well. In fact, I'm putting up everything that I'm finding on my hard drives that's of any interest whatsoever, so you can waze your way through it. Every piece of music is totally original on the Hospital House Party. This also concerns Willem because he's part of the Vanguard project. Oh! Vanguard project, of course, is Willem with Steve Spearhead, aka BC. Sam Pearson, who says, hi Tony and the hospital crew. I wanted to ask you if you can do a shout out to my partner Chris, who is due to celebrate his 40th birthday on August the 1st. He absolutely loves everything that you guys do and listens to your podcast every week. It would make his birthday extra special if he could hear you wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Chris. We're travelling for a weekend away on the 31st of July, so that's the release date of this album. So we'll be listening then to the show in the car. He would be beside himself if he could hear it a shout out. And a bit more about my main squeeze. The bottom line, this man is a legend and a rock of a human. We became best friends 13 years ago and bonded over our love of drum and bass, amongst other things. A couple of years ago, after getting closer and closer, we decided to give a relationship a go, and just last month welcomed our first daughter, a little girl called Thea Florence. She's already got herself a drum and bass DJ name, if ever she chooses to walk that path, T-Flow. Wow. And given she's been listening since she was in my tummy, Mum and Dad can only hope their little girl takes to their bass as much as they do. Loving your work, keep being awesome, and I hope that it makes it for your consideration. I think you mean the shout, don't you? You got it. Brand new culture shock. So will you be my remedy? This is called Visions. Cause you lift me up way above the ground, and when you're around I ain't coming down. Cause you lift me up way above the ground, and when you're around I ain't coming down. Obviously, it's by Serum, and it's called Speedball, and it's on Souped Up. Obviously. Coming, some brand new Voltage from the House Party album that's out on the 31st of July. This is called Profit. I do love it when people name tracks after synthesizers. I love that. Massive shout to Ruin Voltage. As you can see, we've got all bases covered with the Hospital House Party album. Terrible pun. This is the kind of shout that I like. From Sam, who's listening in Sydney, Australia, says, loads of love. P.S. When are you coming back for another gig? We missed the last one. Absolutely gutted. I've seen you a few times. Once in 2008, I think, when it was a solo London Electricity show. It was awesome. And Dave Buckle writes in to say, would I be able to get a shout out on the podcast, please? Massive thanks to you, Tony, affectionately known as Uncle Tony between my friends and I. Been listening for years now and kept a good backlog of the podcast to listen to while working in lockdown. Love your rambles. Shout out to everyone. Keep dancing, keep smiling. We will get through this together. Talking of which, I actually went to the pub for the first time since February last night. And I really enjoyed it. It wasn't really scary at all. It was very safe. And I doubly enjoyed it. Because, like most countries, we're probably going to experience a second spike and another lockdown. So you've got to enjoy these things while you can. Now, more music from the Hospitality House Party album. And this brings Voltage and Serum together with Blade Runner. It is, of course, Kings of the Rollers. And it's called Saturn's Strings. for those that know their synths, there's another link there. Incoming is one of 3 brand new tracks by Winey that I have not played yet. His EP has just come out. And the track Incoming is called November. Now, I have so much music to get through, and this is sacrosanct, I know. I have not included a demo of the week, and I have not included we released this track 20 years ago, and we released this track 10 years ago. But I promise I'll get them in on the next podcast. From the Metric album, Ex Machina, This is Parallel featuring graphics on vocals. And I'm delighted to be able to announce that for one day, Metric's album was #1 in the UK dance chart.
I will protect this. We fall into parallel.
Yes, Tom.
Trick. Together we will excel into the next kiss. We fall into parallel. 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 You are electric, and now I'm under your spell. I will protect this.
It so sounds like Josh Graphics as well. It's uncanny.
Electric, together we will excel into the next kiss. We fall into parallel.
I felt that you can't have a graphics without Fred V. So, from the Hospitality House Party album, this is brand new Fred V. It's called Hands of Time, and it features Alex Frank on vocals. And it's a really nice feeling when you can mix together two tracks that originate from the southwest of England. Because incoming is Spy from Bristol and Fred V lives in Exeter. So So yes, you heard correctly, brand new Spy on the Hospitality House Party album. Course called Come Back to Me. Shout from Bridget the Call, who says, Dear Tony, the last time I wrote to you, my husband Keegan and I were preparing for our wedding here in Granada. Our wedding dance was Our Night by New Tone, and the night couldn't have been more perfect. Our 2-year anniversary is today, the 30th of June. So I would like to start by asking for an anniversary shout out. Okay, you got one. Sorry it's a few days late, but better late than never, eh? And I next want to take a moment to express how much hospital and hospitality has played a part in my life recently. Since the pandemic has ravaged most of the world, we too have felt the effects here on our little island in the Caribbean. We're lucky now to have no confirmed cases, but we still remain under tight restrictions and curfews with the borders closed. And this week, we have had to close the doors on our very own business, which has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I'm so sorry. While there's nothing that prepares you for something like this, one of the things that has kept me going has been Hospital Records. Your podcast is solely responsible for keeping me connected to drum and bass since moving here 7 years ago, which I confess is also how long it's been since we have been to a hospitality event, or any D&B event for that matter. And without these regular sessions, I would have lost touch with the drum and bass world. So with everything that's happened, words can't describe how amazing it has been to finally be able to join in on the hospitality experience after all these years, thanks to the Hospitality House Party events online. Yes, you've been watching, wicked. Not only has it helped me keep my head above water, but it's kept us totally connected to our friends and family at a time when one couldn't feel more isolated. Due to these incredible party streams, we found ourselves arranging to do our own house party with our friends from away and get to drink and enjoy their company whilst getting front row seats to the best show around. That's nice, isn't it? That's really nice. The hospitality world has become my staple and my vice, from the podcast and streams to all the various music released, and it has been a privilege to jam and join in on the fun with the industry's finest. You've done more than you'll ever know during this pandemic. Thank you all so much. Wishing you and everyone at Hospital Records the best going forward. Keep up the great work. Bridget DeCall. Oh, and Coleman's mustard mix was amazing. I lost count of the number of times I've replayed it already. Same for Building Better Worlds. Damn, so many incredible things to mention. You rock. Thank you. Bridget, thank you. That was a lovely shout. Really, really kind. Now this is brand new music from Need for Mirrors. and it's called Adults Only. Shout to Joe Moses. And Joe runs Soul in Motion with Bailey. One of the many events that we cannot wait to return, although I do fear it may be well into next year. I hope I'm wrong.
Come to me.
Music from Winslow.
Take control. Push the limit. I know.
Snap out of it.
I know you have the power. Dig deep, reach for it to your final hour.
Big shout out to Winslow, a man who definitely knows what he's doing with his frequencies.
I hope you listen well. Hear these words, internalize them, and you will not fail. The journey's now, the path is laid, it's time for you to step out towards the future you describe through me through your own breath. Just remember, you can't pull out of this. Fight back, street rules, you are not powerless. Never give up, never surrender, show no cowardice. And just snap out of it. What are you afraid of? You know exactly what you're made of. It's just an obstacle. Anything is possible. Yeah, it's time to get it. Take control. Push the limit, I know. I know you have the power. Dig deep, reach forward to your final hour.
Incoming brand new music from Euphonique. A tune called Don't Need Nobody.
Don't need nobody. That's
Symphonique. It's a certified banger. Now, very, very soon coming is an intriguing release by Etherwood. And it's called the Isolation Jams. So what he's done, he's recorded like a kind of big EP of acoustic versions of his own tunes and some cover versions. Some of them done in his van, some in a studio, but all in total isolation, and it was back when lockdown was severe. And I decided that I didn't really want to mix it with drum and bass as such, so I'm not featuring the tunes on this podcast, but I definitely will on the next one. Another release to watch out for, and that is available for pre-order, is the new EP from Bop and Subwave. And once again, I totally ran out of time on this podcast. Honestly, this podcast could have been about 2.5, 3 hours long. So I'm going to go in deep on that on the next podcast. Incoming, more metric. This is Requiem. I do love me a good syncopated pad, I do. So pleased for Tom Metric, because when he realised that his album was going to come out during the coronavirus lockdown, he was in a state of some despair. safe to say it has totally smashed everything out the ballpark. It's been out, 2 weeks now, and it's streamed over 10 million times. Congratulations, Tom. Coming is more Need for Mirrors. It's a tune called Fumes. If you're enjoying this podcast and you wish you could actually watch it on video, you can. Over on my YouTube channel. Just subscribe and you'll get notifications. Incoming brand new caliber from Shelf Life 5, When Sunday Goes. I've got to give a massive shout out to Fabio and Groove Rider, who invited me to be one of 5 or 6 guests on their 24-hour marathon the weekend just gone. It was a great honour for me, it really was. I think the other guests were Carl Cox, Goldie, Benji B. Can't remember who else. There were a couple of other absolute legends, and it was amazing. The whole thing. I watched nearly all of it, and man, they smashed it. They really did. All for charity, all for the sickle cell anemia charity. It was a real experience. Congratulations to Fabio and Groove Rider, and also to Charlotte for putting it all together. And a shout in from Firthington Presents, which is a rather strange name. I've been listening to your podcast for some years now, for a number of reasons. Firstly, I love the music that you select. It's always so amazingly put together and has some of the nice melodies, but also the most immense drops. It always has me dancing whenever I listen to it or wherever I listen to it. Secondly, I'm not sure what it is about the music which comes out of hospital, but it has the ability to comfort me and bring me solace when I need it, but it also makes me want to dance my arse off and makes me smile so very much. My mates all claim to dislike drum and bass, but introducing them to some of the artists you have on the label has totally converted them to the dark side. The dark side. Thank you for your record label and for the music that you all produce. I will never be able to explain the pain and the darkness which it has taken away during incredibly tough times in my life. If you are taking requests for the next podcast, I'd love to hear some Etherwood. Sorry, but you will on the next one. Thank you to you and all your artists for the music. You are most welcome. We're only doing what we love doing. And I know it's hard on a lot of DJs at the moment because no one's getting any gigs and no one's getting paid for any gigs. So, but we keep on keeping on. Because that's how we do, that's how we like it. This is brand new music from Askel and Alair from Finland, from the Hospitality Dance Party album. This is Shy. Say, dear Tony, I would really love it if you could make a shout out to my amazing husband Andrew. We are 7 months pregnant and currently in Canada. People are unable to expand their bubbles to more than 10 people. Wow, it's basically just been the two of us since March, and he's been so good to me through all the weird first time pregnancy anxiety. Last month, a while ago, he put on one of your podcasts, and I've been insisting that we just go through the archives ever since. The little guy inside seems to love drum and bass as much as we do. Thank you for bringing so much light to such a weird and often lonely time. Niam Plunkett. That's lovely, and that takes me right back. When our firstborn, formerly known as the chairman, but now known as the Surgeon-in-Chief, I know. When the Surgeon-in-Chief was in the Lady Culminator's stomach, he experienced a lot of hospitalities. I think around that time, 2006, it would have been heaven and then matter. But he certainly got the vibrations. Because when he was born, like most parents, you can't get your baby to go to sleep when you want them to go to sleep. It's really, really annoying, and it can drive people mad. So Newtone he synthesized using reason. He kind of synthesized what it sounds like inside a mother's stomach. Sent me a CD. That didn't work. And then one day I was just kind of like in the lounge doing something, and I put on a copy of Hospital Mix 1 CD, and I noticed that the chairman, as he was known then, just went straight off to sleep. So that's what we did. We used drum and bass mixes, and they worked a treat. And on car journeys like age 4 and 5 and everything like that, it was amazing. From the compilation that's out now on the Occulty label from Russia, this is one of my favourite producers, Impish, collaborating with Meta. It's a tune called Keep Warm. And don't forget, if you want a shout out, the best place to write to me is on Instagram messages. I don't really look at Facebook Messenger much, so I tend to miss things that are put on there. Now, on the Hospitality House Party, the album, there is a brand new track by me, and it's with Bulgarian Goddess. Massive, massive shout to Daniela. It's called Somebody Gave Me a Melody, and it goes like this. Big shout to Daniela.
Someone's gave me a melody. Little did I know it would set me free.
That's not me on the piano. That's Daniela.
Someone's gave me a melody.
It's whiny time. I'm going to end the podcast with 2 tracks from Whiny's EP. If you haven't got it, you need to get it. This is Black Ice.
So icy.
And from the same EP by Whiny, this is called No Good. No Good.
Don't you think like that? I will love you endlessly if you'd only believe in me. Don't you be like that? I will love you forever if you'd only believe in me. Yeah.
And the EP is called Bubblers Part 1, which indicates there's going to be a Part 2, which I'm very happy to announce Whiny has just completed. Jessica Ashley, who says, hi, message for you, Tony. Went on a run this morning listening to your latest podcast. You haven't done one for a while. I hope you're okay. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Anyhow, as suggested, spent some time reflecting on DJs and their money-making opportunities now that clubs are on hold for the foreseeable, and how you were flagging how much access we are getting to great music and live DJing because artists want and need to keep their fan base. So, here's my idea. When you stream events, can't you put a donate to your DJ link up, like a pass round the hat kind of thing? Which got me thinking, I think there are certain DJs who would do very well to do that, and or have their own Patreon or donation tag or whatever, because they're maybe at the start of their career or just up and coming. Um, I think maybe with very well known DJs, it would look extremely weird. And if I did it, everyone would think that hospital had gone bankrupt. So I can't do it. But yeah, it's a very kind thought. Thank you very much. And to everyone tuning in to the podcast and to Tony Coleman's Mustard Mix, which is going to be next Monday, 8 o'clock on my YouTube. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of everything. Our weird journey in this weird time that's probably going to get a lot weirder before it gets less weird, if it ever does get less weird. But we'll get used to it. You know, we're quite adaptable. And we've got drum and bass, which is brilliant. So, yeah, massive love out to every single one of you for being you. Be nice, be good, and don't forget your mummies, your daddies, your grannies, your children, your sisters, your brothers, your friends, your teachers even. They're all having a hard time too. Big love.